Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Um, okay, just get started. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Shrinvatam Svakata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Hridayantosti Abhadrani Vidunoti Sahasratam Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 12, verses 18 through 24. Just 1 second here. I think it is 18 through 24. Yes. Verse 18. Drishtva tam tadarshanam sarve matva vrindavanashriyam vyajata jagaratundena he uptrekshante smalilaya. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. Upon seeing these demons' wonderful form, which resembled a great python, the boys thought that it must be a beautiful scenic spot of Vrindavan. Thereafter, they imagined it to be similar to the mouth of a great python. In other words, the boys, unafraid, thought that it was a statue made in the shape of a great python for the enjoyment of their pastimes. Purport: some of the boys, upon seeing this wonderful phenomenon, thought that it was in fact a python, and they were fleeing from the spot. But others said, "Why are you fleeing? It is not possible that a python like this is staying here. This is a spot of beauty for sporting." This is what they imagined. Text 19. Aho mitra gani gadata satva kutam purasitam asmat sangrasana vyata vyala tundai te nava. The boy said, "Dear friends, is this creature dead? Or is it actually a living python with its mouth spread wide just to swallow us all? Kindly clear up this doubt." The friends began to discuss amongst themselves the reality of the wonderful creature laying before them. Was it dead, or was it actually a living python trying to swallow them up? Verse 20. Satyam arka karak raktam uttarahanu adharahanu vodrodhas tat pracha yaranam. Thereafter, they decided, "Dear friends, this is certainly an animal sitting here to swallow us all. Its upper lip resembles a cloud reddened by the sunshine, and its lower lip resembles the reddish shadows of a cloud." Text 21. Pratispardete srakhabhyam sarvasaye nagodare Tungashanalayo pietas tadam strabescha pasyata. Translation: on the left and right, the two depressions resembling mountain caves are the corner of its mouth, and the high mountain peaks are its teeth. 22. Ashratyamo margoyam rasanam pratigarjati esam antargatam dvantam etadapi antarananam. Translation: in length and breadth, the animal's tongue resembles a broad traffic way, and the inside of its mouth is very, very dark, like a cave in the mountain. 23. Davosna kharavatoyam swasvad bhati pashyata Datta Sattva Durgando Piyantir Amisha Gandavat. Translation: the hot fiery wind is the breath coming out of his mouth, which is giving off the bad smell of burning flesh because of all the dead bodies he has eaten. Text 24. Asman kim atra grasita nivitsan ayam tatha ched bhagavad vinakshati shanadani neti bakari usanmukham vikshoda santa karatadanayayu. Translation: then the boy said, has this living creature come to swallow us? If he does so, he will immediately be killed like Bakasura without delay. Thus they looked at the beautiful face of Krishna, the enemy of Bakasura, and laughing loudly and clapping their hands, they entered the mouth of the python. Purport: after talking about the terrible animal this way and that way, they decided to enter the demon's mouth. They had full faith in Krishna because they had explained how Krishna had saved them from the mouth of Bakasura. Now, here was another Asura, Aghasura. Therefore, they wanted to enjoy the sport of entering the demon's mouth and being saved by Krishna, the enemy of Bakasura. End of purport. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajadam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijanasetam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamsha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyata Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Sati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Good morning, dear devotees. Thank you so much for this opportunity to read and explain these verses from Srimad Bhagavatam for my own purification. And please forgive me for any of my own interpretations while speaking on these verses. So right now, we completed the Bakasura episode, and now we are moving on to the Aghasura pastime of Lord Shri Krishna. So this story beautifully shows how the pure-hearted, the loving-hearted friends of Krishna saw even danger as an opportunity for play, and how their simple faith protected them from fear. So here, we are talking about the pastime in Vrindavan, right? This whole Canto 10 is focused on Vrindavan pastimes. And we were in the beautiful forest of Vrindavan with the cowherd boys. The Gopas are playing with Krishna. Everybody's there. And that was the scene earlier in the verses that was all described, right? And then the introduction of Aghasura is happening in these verses. So this forest is full of beauty, friendship, joy, and Krishna is enjoying with his cowherd boys. They are playing, laughing, they are exploring, and all of that is happening. So when Aghasura, so he was the demon, right, sent by King Kamsa. He took this form of a gigantic python. So the form of this python, he was so big, right? It was huge. And the mouth was open so wide that it looked like a mountain cave. And the plan of this python this Aghasura was that he was going to swallow all the boys, including Krishna. So basically, remember, right? All of these demons were sent by Kamsa because they wanted to kill Krishna, and that is the entire plan. But along with it, whoever else is there, they all are getting into trouble, right? All of the gopas we have seen in multiple pastimes that they all get in trouble, but then ultimately Krishna comes and saves he saves everybody. That's what happens. So let's look at the context here, right? So the boys are seeing Aghasura, this enormous creature, but then what is their response? Like they don't fear at all, right? And the verse is saying that upon seeing this demon's wonderful form, which resembled a great python, the boys thought that it must be a beautiful scenic spot of Vrindavan. What are they saying? Oh, maybe this is for our pleasure. All this, look at this, how beautiful everything looks. So this is for our fun, that this whole thing is here. It looks like a mountain. So they even think that this whole thing is made for their pastime. And then they are asking each other, friends, is this creature dead? Is it really alive? Is it really here to swallow us? They are really asking each other. And so, what does this show, right? That just shows how innocent they are and how sincere they are. And they are just so playful. If it was somebody else in that situation, right? Like if an adult or any, like we will become like so scared, so panicking situation. If we saw something like this big creature coming out of that, there will be so much fear in us. But how are these boys responding? They are so curious. The gopas are so curious and they are just amused. And then it is like children, right? They see a park and they see like a dark tunnel. And what do the children say? Oh, yeah, let's go explore and let's play inside, right? Instead of feeling scared. So that's exactly how the gopas are also saying. So the gopas are looking at the python Aghasur, right? Very closely. And then they are describing, what are they saying? Look at the upper lip is looking like a red cloud glowing in sunlight. The lower lip is looking like a shadow of a cloud. The corners of the mouth are looking like mountain caves. And teeth are like tall mountain peaks, and tongue looks like a broad road. The inside of the mouth is like a dark cave, and the air is coming, which is like very gross. So they are able to understand that. But even in this horrifying scene, like, can you imagine, like, if we saw that huge creature like that, and the smell is hot and smells like burning flesh? I mean, that can be so scary to be around that place. Like, immediately there will be like fear. But even in this horrifying scene, how are the gopas responding? They are seeing it with wonder, imagination, and poetry because their hearts are so pure and they are naturally thinking that this is all for enjoying with Krishna. That is how they are relating everything. So why are they relating like that? Let's look at the background, right? How is it that the boys, the gopas, in the middle of this calamity, in the middle of this fearsome situation, are still like that? Because they have something which is very extraordinary. They have Krishna with them. And that's the reason why they're like that. They're saying, if this python is trying to swallow us, he will be killed, just like Bakasura was killed by Krishna. See that? And they laugh, they are clapping their hands, they look at Krishna's beautiful face. And what are they doing? They walk right into Aghasura's mouth. Because why is that? They have such strong confidence that Krishna is with them. And if something were to happen, Krishna will kill the demon. Such strong confidence, So this shows their absolute faith in Krishna. No matter what happens, Krishna will protect them. So that's really what it is, right? It is like if a little child is walking through darkness, but if the child is holding a parent's hand, So then there is no fear because they know that the parents are going to protect them. If something were to happen, the parents will protect them. So same like that, the cowherd boys, the Gopas are feeling so fearless. Why? Because Krishna is with them. So this is really very important. It is really full of symbolism. Like the python, the Agasur, if you really compare about it, right, even in our day-to-day world also, we can kind of see the connection between this pastime and in our own lives. So like this Agasur, we can think of it like all the challenges of this material world that we are seeing and how it just literally can swallow a living entity, because we can get so distracted in this material world and the darkness of ignorance and illusion. Like the explanation was given in the Agasura's mouth, it was like a dark cave. Similar to like that, this whole material world of illusion is like a dark cave, and the living entity is so enamored by all of this illusion that in spite of that, the living entity will walk and try to enjoy in this cave, right? But here we see Gopa's fearlessness, right? That they don't have any fear. They have faith and devotion in Krishna. So that's how we can narrate, like relate to the pastime here. And then Krishna's protection. No matter what happens in this world, we have to always have the faith that Krishna's protection is always there with us. So, whenever in our personal lives, right, when we have these Agasura moments in life, which is basically all the challenges that we go through in our lives, and sometimes it is so scary. Sometimes it is very uncertain, like we don't know what it is looking like to be. But in that moment, could we adopt the mood of the Gopas, how the Gopas responded, right? That in any situation, we can look at it that this is definitely a lesson or an opportunity for us to learn something. And then remembering Krishna also gives us the courage, right, to navigate through these challenging circumstances and move towards very fearlessly. So it's really like a very good reflection for us, right? So why is that the cowherd boys, they see the beauty where we would see danger in any of the situation? How is it that in the same situation we are seeing danger, but they see beauty? And how is it that they are able to still take it so lightly and they're still laughing. Agasura is right in front of them and they're still laughing. So what is it that they have? Their faith is compared to, how we respond with our tiny, tiny faith that we have. And then how does this pastime also remind us about Krishna's protection in our own lives? Like how much faith do we have in Krishna's protection? Do we feel that within our different challenging circumstances that we will be able to have Krishna's protection, right? So that's the thing. And from this pastime also, there are kind of few lessons we can learn from Agasura pastime. So the first one, very obvious, right? That the faith will remove fear. So when we have faith, strong faith in Krishna, right? When we understand that we are a part of the bigger plan and we are such a tiny thing, we are not the controllers, we are not the doers, but rather Krishna is in charge. So what happens is fear will lose power over us, right? In Srimad Bhagavatam 11 to 37, it is stated, right? Bhayam dvitiya abhinesha vaschat. So fear is caused by our absorption in the illusionary energy. But those who are free from the illusory energy, those who are confident that they are not this material body, they are the spiritual part of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and therefore engage in the transcendental service, we have nothing to fear. Whenever we have the strong confidence and whenever so bhayam comes, dutiya, right, where we are turning away from Krishna, fear immediately attacks us. But the moment we turn towards Krishna, we have the protection. It is like when there is light, when we are facing light, there is no darkness. Like that, if we are facing towards Krishna, then there is no fear. And really, that whole condition. So that's why when somebody is having that strong faith in Krishna consciousness, there is abhayam, fearlessness, and it is possible only by Krishna consciousness. That is what Srila Prabhupada is saying, that if we have to become fearless, we have to work on our faith towards Krishna, on our Krishna consciousness. The more and more we become deeper towards his shelter, immediately the fear is gone. And then simplicity, right? We also learn from this pastime about how the Gopas are very simple. In the face of these challenges, they just saw everything like a pastime to enjoy with Krishna. And Krishna describes in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 13, about the qualities that are to be developed by a devotee. And also, simplicity is a Brahmanical quality. So, as devotees, we really have to develop this quality of simplicity, although it is so hard in the world that we live in and in the association that we are in all the time. We feel that if we become very simple, people may take advantage of us. But really, from this pastime, from those gopas, how they are doing within the protection of Krishna, it's just very simple, very simplicity. And then the final thing is devotion will transform our perception. So when we earlier, as we said, when we have strong faith, right? When the devotees see a situation, and when we have all the instructions from Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra, every opportunity that we see, we don't see that as a problem anymore. But we will see that as an opportunity to serve Krishna. Outwardly, it may look like a challenge. It could be a physical body, it could be like all the three challenges we can see, right? Adhyatmik, Adi Devik, and Adi Bhautik. Those challenges will come to us. But in the middle of those challenges, do we get scared? Do we become depressed? How do we react to these challenges, right? But rather, do we see the connection with Krishna and we think that let's take an opportunity. Let me do the best I can and see whatever Krishna has. I am an instrument of Krishna, and however Krishna wants to use me, he can use me. And then I'll just do the whatever I can as a service to him. And also, regardless of what happens in the end, the outcome is also not in my hands. Rather, my important function is that I be that instrument for Krishna's service. So really, in the closing reflection, if we were in Gopa's place and standing before Agasur, would we have that courage? What would we do, right? So really something we have to look at, that when we have that loving attraction towards Krishna, then no matter what danger, whatever comes in front of us, everything will become a loving service towards the Lord. So that's really kind of a summary, that I can think of while reading through these verses. But I just want to open it up and just ask also, Prabhu, Mataji, Damodar Prabhu, anything you would like to share? माता जी आप बोलिए, थोड़ा सा सिंपलिसिटी, बहुत सिंपल होना अच्छा है ना? तो आप बोलिए आपको कैसा लगता है? अभी आप लोग भी देखो कितने सिंपल हो, इतना अच्छे से भगवान का सर्विस में फुल टाइम, तो मुझे सच में वो एग्जाम्पल आप लोगों का ही याद आ रहा था जब भी मैं रीड कर रही थी तभी। तो आप लोग भी बोलिए कुछ भी सिंपलिसिटी के बारे में। माता जी कुछ बोलना है? धनलक्ष्मी माता जी, आप म्यूट पे हो।
किस किस को देखा
हाँ, माता जी, हाँ
मैं
माता जी,
मैं ये बोल रहा था, ब्रजवासी तो गांव वाले हैं, ऐसे सिंपल है ही, तो हम लोग
हाँ।
भी गांव वाले ही हैं, इसलिए सिंपल है।
सिंपल ही वर्किंग करना है माता जी।
वही माता जी, लेकिन हम लोग सब इतना कॉम्प्लेक्स बन जाते हैं ना।
सिंपल होके
वही।
चाहिए करना है, और जैसे
हाँ
शांति से।
वही वही, जितना सिंपल रहेंगे उतना भगवान का अच्छे से सेवा कर सकते हैं। सच में वही है, ये लेसन अभी अगासुर पास्ट टाइम से सच में वही पूरा दिख रहा है। और भगवान के ऊपर स्ट्रॉन्ग विश्वास भी रहना चाहिए। वही खाली प्रे करेंगे आप लोगों से कि हमको भी उतना भक्ति दे दो करके। ठीक है प्रभु, डू यू, हाँ माता जी।
अच्छा भक्त है आप लोग। आप लोग ने बाहर काम करते हो, उधर सेवा करते हैं, अच्छा है ना।
आपका शादी।
थैंक यू प्रभु, थैंक यू माता जी। दामोदर प्रभु, डू यू वांट टू ऐड एनीथिंग प्रभु?
दैट्स इट माता जी।
ठीक है, थैंक यू सो मच। हरे कृष्णा। वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। हरे कृष्णा।